So what is up guys, I hope you're doing well. In today's video I'm gonna show you guys how to build a finish line for your motocross track. As always, you will find the finished product down in the description below. Without further ado, let's jump first into Unity so we can get like the measures that we need, and then we will jump into Blender and I'm gonna show you guys how to build the finish line. Okay, so we are in my current project in Unity, which you can find in my Patreon. This project so far has been made for Track.ar specifically. So if you have Track.ar and you want to get access to my work in progress projects such as tracks, models, stuff like that, you will find the link for my Patreon. Today we're gonna be building the finish line, which is going to be located here. As you can see, I've already started making some hay bales. You will find those tutorials also in the description below, so make sure to go check them out as well. The first thing that we're gonna need is our best friend, the cube, because this cube is going to determine for us the correct width of the track, so we can establish the width of the finish line and it's not going to mess up the final scale of everything. So I'm gonna try and place it in the exact middle of our jump, and I'm gonna start scaling the x-axis until I reach both ends of the jump. So it should be about 8 meters, I think, which should give us plenty of room. And I'm going to do the same for the y-axis in this case, so I can see how high I should be getting it. 5-6 meters should be enough for what we need right now. So now that I've got my measurements, 8 meters wide, 6 meters tall, let's jump into Blender. Now we need to press N, find the measurements. We said it was 8 meters wide, so we're gonna go here and type 8 and it should give us 8 meters wide, and we're gonna go here and type 6 meters tall. What I'm going to do is figure out the cutout. So I want to make the frame, and then I will build like the plastic front and back. So this is going to be our plastic front and back, but I think I'm gonna have to make it a little bit wider. I think 8 meters is not enough, so let's jump back into Blender and let's go with the 9 meters. Now what I'm gonna do is press GZ, bring it up, so the origin is going to be on the floor like that. Set origin to 3D cursor, so this way the object is going to spawn at this height. This will be the pavement location. Okay, now that we have this one, I am gonna make this a little bit thinner, because this is gonna be the two sides, and I am going to cut up the model like this. Okay, so this is going to give us pretty much the overall shape of our finish line, and we're going to fix the geometry real quick like this to duplicate this one at a later date. So just right now I'm going to mark for the UV mapping, so in that way I don't have to do it later. And Control A, apply the scale. Always remember, as I said in the first tutorial, always apply the scale before UV mapping. So this will be our first copy of the object, and I'm gonna move it slightly to the x-axis, maybe scale it a little bit thinner and duplicate it as well. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Now it's time to make the metal poles, which should not be too hard. We're just gonna take the previous faces that we have here. We're going to duplicate them, and we're gonna move them on the x-axis. Then we're going to take away the seams, because we don't need those. We're going to extrude just like that. Okay, so I managed to fix it. Now I triangulated the faces again. Now we're gonna go down to the modifier tab, and we're gonna look for the wireframe modifier. Okay, as you can see, this is going to give us our result, and we're just gonna be play around with the thickness. As you can see, we can make it as thick as we want. We are going to settle for this one, but I did make a mistake because, as you can see, I did not separate the mesh, and the modifier is working also in our plastic cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one really quickly. Now we are going to apply the wireframe. So this is like 1000 polys, which is not too bad. We could have made it a little bit less polygons maybe, but I am gonna take it. So we are going to select this one and then bring it to the exact center like this. There we go. Now we're going to set origin to the 3D cursor, and now we're going to wait. Before I join them, let's create a material for this one, because we're not going to UV wrap this one. We're just going to give it a little bit of a metallic material, and we're going to export it like that. Okay, this should be good enough. Now we're gonna go back to our plastic cover and we're going to join them together. Ctrl J in object mode, and then I'm going to select this one and move it a little bit closer like so. And maybe what we could do, we could raise like these two faces right here, because I don't really like the design right now. So we're just going to grab these and pull them up like so. So a little bit of the finish line is actually exposed. There we go. We're gonna need to create another material for the plastics, because otherwise when we go into substance it's going to mess a little bit of everything. So we're gonna go ahead and create a new material, and we're gonna call this plastic finish. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and assign it, but before assigning it, you need to select the mesh and then assign the materials. So this is a little bit of a gray material. We're gonna need it white, otherwise it's going to give us problems. And there we go. We're almost ready to export this model into Substance. I don't know if I want to go a little bit crazy like on the face here. Maybe I'm just going to grab this one and pull it a little bit further up. Now all that's left to do is take this one, go like this, Shift D, X, and we're going to duplicate it here. And now we have our finish line that can be used both ways. To add a little bit of realism to this finish line, I'm gonna take a plane. So we're gonna spawn a plane here, and make it a bit long. You have a length, and make it a bit more tight. These are these threads. We're gonna be holding down our finish line, and now we grab this one. And I think for this one, I'm gonna separate it and add a mirror modifier. That way it feels like the same on the other side. And then I'm gonna join them back later. As you can see, everything is working quite nice. I don't think that's good enough. We're gonna join it back together. Oh, wait. There we go. I think it's good enough. We're going to apply our modifier and now join them back together. Ctrl J. There we go. Now we're gonna check which materials is assigned here. Yeah, and as you can see, it's the wrong material, so we're going to select these ones. And apply the correct material. Now what we need to do is just to prepare the UV map for Substance. And we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we're going to select all the meshes that we want to prepare. Make sure that everything is correct here in the location, rotation, and scale. As you can see, everything is correct. And now we're going to, before that, right click, set origin to 3D cursor, so it's going to spawn like this. Now UV editing, I go like this. And now the model is ready to be exported. We're gonna go ahead and hit save. As always, guys, always remember to save your projects, otherwise if the program crashes, you're gonna be crying, and I've been crying way too much lately, so we don't want to do that again. Okay, so here we are after I made all the process that I told you in the other video on Substance Painter. My microphone died, so I'm using the camera microphone, so maybe the audio quality won't be the best because it's actually quite a hot day and my computer is actually working quite hard. So we have done the usual stuff that I've already told you, so all that's left to do it's to grab the finish line and drag it into our map. There we go, and looks like we made the perfect measurements. Now we're going to place it in the correct way. Boom. Now we're going to apply the materials, so we're gonna go here. This is the finish line. Always remember, when you put stuff in Unity, right click, go into the prefab section and unpack completely, and then top right, make this static, so it's going to make the computer work a little bit less. I think this is going to be all for today. We did make the pretty decent finish line. Let me know down in the comments below if this tutorial was helpful. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will catch you tomorrow with another video. Bye.